And like we'll go over some of Rodgers' mechanics and stuff like that, but he's not a rookie who's really going to fix a lot of his mechanics. So there's really no point in talking about a lot of that stuff because even just in the first play, his mechanics aren't great here. And I did see this by the way, just on Twitter, people talking like, oh, Zach Wilson's going to take after Rodgers' great mechanics. Rodgers doesn't have great mechanics. He could throw the ball well with bad mechanics. Like his foot being closed off here and his hips not being allowed to rotate past that foot closes his hips off a little bit, and then that makes it more of an arm throw than you want it to be. But Rodgers is so damn good at it that it doesn't really matter. Now it might hurt him a time or two. There are times where on deep balls they're a little bit too far to the inside and a little bit short, but we'll talk about that in the future. And then specifically when he has his injury, you'll see him throw balls a little bit too high and behind guys, and that didn't happen prior to the injury. So we'll talk about some mechanical things, some things that. Listen, he's not perfect. He's not the perfect quarterback. Nobody is. And you will get a full list of strengths and weaknesses. That will be all the way in review 4, though. I'll do the list of the strengths and weaknesses. But like I say, I'm not going to talk about too much about the mechanics just because there's really not much of a point of it. Drops back as he gets the ball, reading the safeties. You can see him looking left, looking right. There's 2 safeties who are deep. And then with this concept, he's going to read, okay, is this guy going to be crashed on? If not, if there's an opening right here, he's going to throw the ball to, I guess that's Lazard right there. And we'll talk about all those guys in the future. Lazard, Cobb, I'm not really going to mention those guys too much unless it's a drop play or something obvious I have to point out. Regardless, reads this, okay, safety over the top. Now what is he seeing? His eyes are going to go to the linebacker. He's sitting on this route. So you're going to have Davante Adams who's going to sit the route down. Now, this could be by design. This could be a feel thing that Aaron Rodgers has with Davante Adams. This is why some of this stuff is important. You could have a rookie receiver or a younger receiver who doesn't have that connection with Rodgers and just try to take this route inside and either go over the top or underneath of Davis. Or it could be an option in the offense where he's able to sit it down here. Regardless, you want some good chemistry with the receiver. He reads that. Now the ball is a little bit inside. You do want it a little bit farther to the outside, just because the linebacker is there, Demario Davis, old Jet friend Demario Davis. But it could also be because Aaron Rodgers had to adjust his arm angle a little bit. Right here, he's feeling some pressure, and it came out a little bit to the side. A little bit to the side again. The mechanics aren't perfect. He's not really generating a lot of power from that back foot. You see some inner rotation like you did with Zach Wilson. You see the front you see the front leg completely closed out off and not really firmly planted in the ground. So there's a couple problems there. But again, throws out a little bit of adjusted arm angle. It looks like to avoid that hand or the rushers. So it goes a little bit inside, but still a very good read, right? No, yes, linebacker there. Put it a little bit more to the inside. Don't lead him. Really good. Obviously, we're going to notice the quick release. His release is lightning quick for the most part. For the most part, it just says he's an elite release. It's a 3x1 with a tight one over here. It's like a Y. Some people call this like a Y ISO. Just this formation 3x1 with the tight end isolated Y ISO. You can call it like Y flex ISO too because he's off. He's not necessarily attached, but yeah, we're not going to get into all that stuff because we don't have time. So, all right, let's watch from the other view. Hitch check route Adams. Again, I don't know if this is an option route right here for Adams, where if it's open immediately they hit it, and if not, it breaks out. But typically with this concept, which is it's a basic stick concept, where you have vertical two routes. So it's 1, 2, 3. And he is going to drop back, read the one, and with this leverage, you're not assuming he's gonna get open deep. Checks the 2 and then hits the 3. I'm not sure what I mean. Oh, sorry, he goes 1 to 2 to 3 to 2. Let me see if that's what he does based on his eyes, which again, this is something that you don't usually want your quarterbacks to do, but it looks like what Rodgers might do right here. Yeah, because his helmet goes inside to Adams and he goes to throw it, and you can see his helmet go back outside right there. So 1, 2, and again, just basic quarterback play. You want to see him look at this, see it's not open. Outside leverage or inside leverage versus outside route, throw it. But Rodgers is so confident in his release and confident in his arm that he could even with a guy open, he'll be like, well, he's open. I know he's going to be open. I know where he's going to be. I know where I have to throw the ball, but I'm going to check the 3 first to see if he's even more open. And if not, I'll throw it back to him. And that's exactly what happens here. So, let's watch again. 1, 2, 3. And it's all so quick, right? Like look how quickly he does all that. So hell of a job by Rodgers there, and obviously the placement maybe a little bit inside, but still a good overall location there. Actually, yeah, no, it's pretty. It's maybe you wanted a hair more outside just in case that guy got a better break on the ball, but still pretty good location there by Rodgers. And again, just the quickness of going through those reads, what he's able to do. 1 to 2 to 3 back to 2 is impressive. It's kind of a good example of what I just spoke about before. Referencing him doing that type of stuff. So AR simple things, pre to post snap, arm angle, pop step. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So the pre-snap thing is, and I'll show you in a second. But this is the simple things that just get you easy yards. And all these plays of this review are not going to be the most sexy deep ball throws, all this stuff. Like that's for Twitter. Right. But like we want to see some of the simple things too. And this is you talk about like pre-snap recognition and all this stuff. And it can be reading the triangle. Some people call it the triangle, the most outside linebacker, the safety, and the corner, and that could dictate coverage. Obviously, you can read if his linebacker's out on a running back, is that zone? What are their splits between the receivers? 2 high, 3 high, is one guy creeping down? Whatever. There's a bunch of stuff you can read that are more complex, or they're just really simple shit. Right, and you have a empty 3x2, and his first part of or not even his first part of his read. I'm not even going to say that because I don't know. Pre-snap though, what is he seeing? One guy over one. There's a linebacker there. Who is picking up this guy immediately? So if he's running a seam, anything where his eyes are going to be inside, or if he has good communication with Rodgers, or maybe there's a pre-snap indicator, maybe there's a hand wave, maybe there's a thumb, maybe there's just a nod, whatever it may be. Who is he going to be covered by quickly? So I believe that's what Rodgers sees pre-snap. You can see him peek at it right before the snap. Look at him. Nothing's really there quickly. And you have, I believe that's MVS. MVS, as soon as he releases, looks right to Rodgers. Rodgers is quick, snap, throw, little pop step there, which he does with his footwork a lot. Puts it right on his face. Easy. This is where football doesn't have to be so difficult. There's nobody covering. Get him the ball. Easy first down. You barely had to work for it. And that's what he's going to do. Every first down is not going to be so goddamn difficult. Again, pre-snap reading, sees nobody covering that guy. And he could have, and I'm not saying he was not the initial read. He or he was or was not. He could have been. It could have been, let me see the rest of there. Yeah, it easily could have been 1 because he's taking, the vertical route to typically actually that's not always true. But with this type of route where it's almost like that knife concept again, with the vertical and the crosser underneath of it, or the quick slant. But this is 1, that's 2. Now, was that what they were supposed to do? Was his first side of his read here initially, and then pre-snap he changed it to, okay, I'm going to read here. Again, he gives that flexibility. It's hard to exactly know, but we're talking about easy first downs here, and that's exactly what he did right there. So it's nice. Now, in terms, again, the footwork he uses, what I refer to and a lot of people refer to is that pop step with that front foot. It's almost like that hop step that you see with receivers. And that's really just keep yourself balanced. If he's going to throw the ball like he likes to hop a little bit just to maintain the balance. If he were to keep that foot planted, he would probably be falling over himself a little bit with how he throws the ball. But because he pops it, he's not forcing himself to lean over it and almost work against his locked knee. Instead, he pops it, lets it come off the ground a little bit, and reset and kind of absorb that momentum. But it's a pop step. You usually see that when guys are like running or things like that, but Aaron Rodgers uses that pop step quite often. Now you don't typically want to see it. You see a guy throw, step through, have a nice 90-degree bent leg, not completely straight out because it doesn't allow your hips to completely transfer over. There's a bunch of stuff you want to see that he doesn't necessarily do, but the pop step works for him. There it is. So the arm angle too. Again, a little bit of adjusting arm angle from the side. Why? Because who was in his path right there? 97. You see 97 against the left guard. sidearm. You know, and he doesn't necessarily bring it all the way over the top like some other guys do, but that's again a little bit to the side, a little bit. Good track, boom, on his face, right? So they are flick. And there is something, and this is not necessarily the best example of it, but with Hackett, he does like to run a lot more quick developing screens. A lot of times you'll see like a concept and then, offensive lineman will block for 2 seconds and release. Hackett typically likes guys to get onto the screen a little bit quicker, but this is where you just see the natural ability take over, right? Like I get he's still